How to create a grand total worksheet in Microsoft Excel 2007. You've probably seen some of our other training videos that explain how to create a total of a number of cells. What if you wanted to have in your workbook one sheet that represented the grand total of a number of calculations throughout that workbook? Doing that is very easy, and as long as you're organized about it, it doesn't take very long. In this example, we have an Excel workbook with one worksheet called Sales Team, and we've tracked the total sales of 3 salespeople. Let's create a scenario where we have 3 different sales teams. We'll make this team the East Coast sales, there'll be Central, and there'll be West, and then we'll have a grand total sheet for all 3 sales teams. To speed things along, what we'll do is we'll use the copy function of Microsoft Excel to simply copy this worksheet. So we'll click the, first we'll rename this worksheet and we'll call it East Coast Sales. And then we'll click this tab with our right mouse button and say Move or Copy. And we'll say Create a Copy and move it to the end. Great, and it just creates an exact duplicate of the East Coast Sales worksheet and just puts a 2 at the end. So we'll rename this one and we'll call it West Coast Sales. Right, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll use the Move or Copy, create a copy, move it to the end, click OK, and we'll rename this one the Central Sales Team. So rename. So I guess it makes sense that Central goes between East and West. So we have East Coast, Central, and West Coast. Great. Now we're going to just insert one more worksheet, and this is going to be the grand total. So we'll rename this one Grand Total, and we'll move this one over to the front, since it's the most important worksheet. Great. And we'll set things up ahead of time. So we'll say East Coast Sales and West Coast Sales. And I guess we want to put Central in the middle. And then Grand Total. Okay. Put a little line here to organize things, and we'll put our total right there. Okay. Now we'll come back to this. Let's start with our East Coast sales. We want to total the sales for this team, so we'll use the auto sum feature, and we've selected cell B5, and we click the Formulas tab and then click Auto Sum. Auto Sum takes a pretty good guess at what we want to calculate. In this case, it's absolutely right, so we're good there. We'll just leave that there, and then we'll go to Central Sales and do the exact same thing. Formulas, Auto Sum, guesses, great. And then we'll go to West Coast Sales and do the exact same thing. Formulas, Auto Sum, and it guesses, and that's great. And we can change the names here. This can be Bob, and this can be Sally, and this can be Dave. And we'll change some of the numbers so they don't look so silly that everybody got the exact same sales, which we know is impossible. We'll go to Central, name this one Frank, and this one Larry, and this one John, and we'll change some of these totals as well. Okay, great. So let's recap. We've got our West Coast sales with that total, we've got our Central sales with their total, and then we've got our East Coast sales with their total. Now we want to build our grand total sheet. So what we do is we first put the totals from each worksheet next to each cell. So we've selected cell B6 and we want it to be the total of the East Coast sales. So we simply type the equal sign and then go right to the cell we want it to equal. So we go to East Coast sales, select the total, hit enter, and the total from East Coast sales now appears there. And you can see the formula. It actually says East Coast sales B5. Let's go to Central Sales, hit the Enter key, equals key, go to Central Sales, select the total we want, hit enter, and then it says Central Sales B5. And then we'll go to West Coast Sales, and we'll hit the equals key, go to West Coast Sales, select the total, hit the enter key. Great. Let's format these so that they're currency, so they look right. First line them up left, select with the right mouse button, choose Format Cells, and choose Currency, and they look right. And then we'll use AutoSum to get our super final grand total. So Formulas, AutoSum, enter, and there's our grand total. We'll make this one look special by making it red. Our grand total for the entire all three sales teams is $9,184. So once again, just to recap, we've got West Coast Sales, Central Sales, and East Coast Sales. And the grand total, where we want to total each different sales team, we type the enter key, and then we actually go to the worksheet that has that total, select that total, hit enter, follow the same steps for each one, and then use the AutoSum feature to get our grand total. And there you go. That's how to create a grand total worksheet in Microsoft Excel 2007. For more helpful training videos, please go to chisholm-consulting.com.